So glad it's an easier evening commute compared to how it was this morning, Blake.
Oh, by far. We talked about it last night during the 11 p.m. show that we were thinking it was going to be a dicey morning commute, and it sure was for some. Yes, a much quieter evening commute here at home. But we still have some lingering lake effect snow to go for our lakeshore communities, and then this bout of lake effect will come to an end. But that's really not the true focus of our forecast, and you'll see why by the 7-day forecast with some very cold air on the horizon. Temperatures were cold today, well below average even for mid-January standards. Teens to around 20 at best, a good 10-15 degrees below average here on this 14th of January. On average, we should be right around 30-31 degrees. And ever since we got into the new year, we ended December on a warmer than average note, but since the new year, we have been consistently below average more days than not this first half of January, and that will continue for the most part over the next week or two. However, 13 weather ball is blinking red with some slightly warmer temperatures ahead. We'll be back into the 20s tomorrow, and we still have some lingering lake effect snow to go. The bulk of the snow today, especially this morning, was confined to those near and southward of I-96. A wide range of snowfall totals as always with lake effect snow, but we did have a range anywhere between 2 to 6 inches of additional lake effect snow this morning alone, and that caused that messy morning commute from I-96 to the south. Really, since that ended this morning, much of West Michigan had a quiet day despite the cold air. Actually some sunshine to end this afternoon. 14, that's the current number here in Grand Rapids, but a few flurries starting to work its way back on shore, especially in the Muskegon area. Lake effect over the last few hours, satellite and radar showcasing that what has been offshore is now starting to peel back onshore between Muskegon and Holland, and that's going to be a continued theme over the next several hours as our wind turns to that typical northwest wind direction. Up and down the lakeshore, especially from Muskegon southward, Holland to Kalamazoo, could see maybe another inch or so of lake effect accumulation before this all wraps up by daybreak tomorrow. Now, when you factor in the wind, it feels colder than the teens, a lot of single-digit wind chill values, and they'll carry on through this evening into tonight. But the good news is that the wind will somewhat relax tomorrow, and temperatures will climb into the lower 20s. Hour-by-hour forecast tomorrow itself will be quiet, but that's short-lived because we're going to see our next weather maker, a warm front, come into West Michigan, and that will spark off some lake-enhanced snowfall, especially for our lakeshore communities. Not a huge deal, but another inch or two of accumulation tomorrow night into early Thursday, and then that will peel out of here, and we'll end the week on a quiet note. But then the focus of the forecast turns to a very cold air mass that will entrench much of the United States. We'll have a brief warm up to end the week, middle 30s in fact, but then as the weekend goes on, here comes an Arctic air mass late Sunday and the early next week. So while we're in the middle 30s Thursday and Friday, look what happens by the end of the weekend and early next week. As of now, our current forecast, single-digit high temperatures here in the Grand Rapids area. The last time Grand Rapids had a single-digit high temperature, you have to go back to the end of January of 2019, so nearly 6 years ago. That type of cold has been around here in parts of West Michigan. Temperatures tomorrow in the middle 20s across the lakeshore, lower 20s away from the lakeshore under a mostly cloudy sky. We might sneak out a peek or two of sun tomorrow, but all in all, our 13 on your side 7-day forecast, the focus turns to a little bit of light snow tomorrow night and early Thursday, and then some truly cold air coming in late in the weekend into early next week.